Hey there survivors, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. Today I'm going to show you 7 hidden base locations on Genesis Arctic biome. Genesis is so big that I thought I'd do a separate video for each biome, so make sure you subscribe to not miss those. All these spots work on official, they're mainly aimed at solo or small tribe people, but the last spot especially is completely broken. So let's just get into the video. Alright, so this first spot's going to be at 77.051.4. and it's going to be deep in the snow region where it's always blizzarding in the Arctic. Make sure your character has pretty decent fortitude, and if you got good fur armor, even better. My character on here doesn't have any fortitude and I'm only wearing primitive fur, so I'm freezing in this place. But you've got all this area to build in here. There's a little spot down there, but I'll show you that in a bit. You've got an area up here as well, which you can use for just extra storage and then put defences at the cracks at the entrance or something. But as you can see, there's not much restriction. The only issue is just trying to get foundations to snap together because a lot of the ground is sloped. But you can squeeze a fair amount in this little tiny place. The easiest way to find this location is to find this massive metal structure which is right against the world boundary. And then you've got the cliff that it attaches to, and then just follow the edge, and where it first goes into a little notch against another cliff, just go right down. But bank left a little bit and then you'll just see it in the rocks. Alright, just to show you this little hole, you can get down there by knocking yourself out, but I've tried fitting a foundation and you can't even fit a bed down there. So I'll just knock myself out just to go down there, just to show you what the space is like, because you can fit a triangle foundation, and then there's a problem trying to get back out as well. As you can see, my character's freezing as well because I got no fortitude on this single player character. Just check creative mode back on. And then, yeah, as you can see, you can fit a triangle foundation. But yeah, you get the point. Unfortunately, you can't get out of this little tiny spot though by grappling or anything. So I'm not sure if there's any other methods that you could possibly use. Maybe something like a climbing pick, and I don't know if you could put a chair just on the edge and then sit on the chair or something. But if you could think of any uses for this little hole in this spot, then knock yourself out. Alright, so this next spot's around 77.313.8, and I imagine this spot's reasonably known already just because it's not the most hidden, but another good thing is I'm not even cold here with 0 fortitude. But for example, especially as a solo or small tribe, you could start building your base up here in the back bit, and then you could expand out to the more open bit then when you got turrets and more defences. So it's not a bad location, especially to start off. You can build a sizable base here, and there's hardly any restrictions. So you could do some breeding, farm, do whatever really. There's quite a lot of resources around here, close to sheep and various other creatures. Anyway, let's move on to the next location. Okay, this next location is going to be deep in the blizzard part of the Arctic again, and it's going to be around 84.4, 48.4-ish, and it's going to be on one of these, like icicles I'll call them. And if you just scoot down behind this top one, there's a little area here you can build in. And there's not much restrictions, but it is a little bit difficult to build in just because you can only seem to snap a few triangle foundations together if you get it right. The one time I got 3 triangle foundations together, but I can't seem to get that again. But then you can build upon this top bit as well. I'll just demolish them so I can show you the building area. Right, so you can build all along that cliff. I'll try and... Oh, I didn't even get a second snap. But you get the point. So you can build all along that bit if you want, and you can fit square foundations up on this lip bit as well if you want, so you can sink them maybe and make some room here. Another thing to note is that I'm only cold here with 0 fortitude, even though I'm in the middle of the blizzard. So anyway, let's move on to the next location. Alright, this next location is going to be around 64.434.9. And I'll just go up just to show you whereabouts. It's towards the base of the big mountain in the middle, and it's near like that platform thing with the mission on the top of it. It's not easily accessible for anyone from ground level as well, which is pretty handy. And it is only a small little location as well, so maybe use it as just a little starter base or something, or a backup if you want to move locations or something. But it's just in this little crack here. And because it's on a slope, it's a little bit hard to snap foundations again. But there's no restrictions for building, you can fit a triangle foundation practically anywhere. You can't fit a regular square foundation, unfortunately, but you could just make a few levels of triangle foundations and have like a smithy on one level, a bed, some boxes on another, etc. But yeah, definitely just a little starter base or temporary base location. Anyway, let's move on to the next location. This next spot's around 87.120.5, and this is just another little out of line of sight location for just a little starter base, or maybe a temporary base, or maybe even a solo spot if you only want to keep it tiny anyway. And it's practically next to the world border, but it's just under this tiny little lip of rock up off the floor. It's quite unsuspecting as it's out of the line of sight from most angles unless you actually approach it from the world border. There's no restrictions for building either, it's just a bit finicky to get some foundations to snap together, but you can get 3, maybe even 4 in here if you have a little fiddle about. But yeah, this is mainly only useful for really a starter solo spot or something. But still, not too bad, and most people shouldn't see you when they're flying past. Right, on to the next location. Right, this next spot's around 81.153.1, and this is deep in the blizzard region again. Now, the fact that it's continuously blizzarding in this area is what makes this place hidden, really. The fact that you have to go so close to it before you even see that there's a little cave here. But as you can see, the ground is pretty flat and you can place quite a few foundations. I only can't build here because I accidentally built from lower to higher, but if you build from higher to lower, you can build more foundations. But as you can see, there's no restrictions, it's green everywhere. So you could actually fit a sizable tribe in here, or a big solo base. But the way that the cave funnels out as well makes it quite good for turret placement. I know it lacks choke points and it's on ground level, but because of the difficulty of being able to line of sight the turrets in a place like this, you basically have to soak. And as you can see, you have to get pretty close until you can even see that there's a cave there, let alone any structures. And because it's under this big lip of rock as well, then people won't be able to see your base even with your in render range if they're flying over the lip. I'll just show you how to find it as well, because if you just go to the coordinates, then you'll basically just hit the ground and you'll just hit this snow like this and be like, what? Where's the cave? So you need to basically look at the wall, find this ridge that's kind of going up, just that crease in the snow, and then just follow that up, and then fall down the crack, and then just follow the cliff back down basically, and it's down there. So yeah, not a bad spot, but you'll want a lot of turret coverage. Now let's move on to the next location. Right, so this last location is around 84.937.9, and this spot is completely broken. I haven't actually tried to see if this works on an official server, but I have official settings on, and I can build here no problem. So it's kind of down in between one of these icicles again. Well, actually, if you follow that rock ridge along, that's the right level for it, where I got the Pteranodon parked. And then it's literally just a hole down here. And you can fit down here even standing up. And you're basically in the snow mesh. And it's not much mesh that you're in, but it's enough for you to actually build a little base in to hide yourself. Now, I won't be even trying to build here on an official server, because I don't really agree with meshing or mesh bases or anything. But if Wildcard just made that little bit of snow completely solid from the inside so it wasn't a mesh that you could go through, that would just completely fix this base anyway. And then it would just be a neat little rat hole. Especially that at the moment there is no solid ground, so if you fall through, you would just literally fall through the snow mesh and then right down to the ground. But you can put a triangle foundation here and then just build off here, and you can actually build a pretty sizable base, especially for a solo or duo tribe. And obviously you don't need to worry about walls on the mesh side. And as you can see, all of that is just from one triangle foundation. And also, you can only fit yourself down there. You can't fit a Pteranodon down here, unfortunately. You don't even need to crouch, you can just fall down here. So obviously, because you can't fit a dino down here, you're just going to have to fall, grapple at the ceiling, and then just build like that. But that's easy enough. And then once you've got your first foundation and your ceiling down, you can just fall on it and build from that anyway. And if you build pillars down from the entrance, you can build a ladder to actually get up there. The ladder sometimes doesn't snap to the pillar which attaches to the entrance bit, but the jump off the ladder is sometimes high enough to make it to the top of that next pillar anyway, so that didn't matter when I tried building it. Or if you can get ramps up there, even better, because the pillar was actually a little bit visible from outside. But building this place with caution, as it is a bit of a mesh base, and I'm not sure if there's a kill barrier around here on official servers or not. But it doesn't seem like a big enough zone to have a kill barrier, but don't take my word for it. I just wish they'd make that snow solid from the inside as well, so it wasn't a bit of mesh, because then it would actually make just a neat little rat hole base. So yeah, this spot's completely broken and should be fixed, but while it's usable, I thought I may as well expose it just in case anyone's using it, as it's such a cheeky little spot that just shouldn't be allowed, as with any type of mesh base. Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode of Hidden Base Locations. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please drop a like and a sub to the channel to not miss any other episodes that I post, and I shall catch you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Peace.